Is there any pressure when you're making a movie like this, knowing that there's a book with fans that are already out there? It's a tough one.
Absolutely, it is. Yes, it's a tough one, and there is pressure, of course, because especially with a book like this, there's millions, literally millions of copies of this book sold, and therefore millions of fans and a lot of heady anticipation. But at the same time, I think, an adaptation is so wildly different from the book itself, because in the book, when somebody reads a book, it's an incredibly personal experience. Somebody pours their imagination into the book and creates the world. The book is a guideline for your own imagination, whereas the film is very much, it's the world presented to you, crystallized in one form.
I want you to walk me through the moment when you find out that they're making this a movie.
Well, it's hard to do because it happens in stages. First they are like, we option your book, and then they've got the screenplay, and then they start the casting. And at each point, I know Hollywood well enough to know that it could still fall apart. They could still not do it, and they're like, we've got a release date, we've got the sets, we've got all this stuff. But it was the moment that they brought me up to Toronto to watch the filming, and I walked onto the set, and saw it built, and it was huge. It's this, incredibly detailed, set. And I just started to cry because I was like, oh my God, they really are making it. Like, they built my world.
What was it about Magnus Bane that made you say, I have to play this role?
The looks. I mean, Magnus Bane has the most sexiest looks in the whole series. And of course, all his clothes are custom made. He has glitter, he has makeup, he has nail polish, he has, everything put together makes him so magical. And, he throws a lot of parties, which I love. And, I would just love to live a style that Magnus does. To live forever, to never age, and to enjoy all the greater things in life.
Clary has quite the wake-up call in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
What is that like to kind of portray that wake-up call?
Well, I like to think that she has wake-up calls every 5 minutes because literally she gets thrown who, what, when, where, whys every moment in this film. And she's forced to react to them in like 10,000 different ways. And as an actor playing that in the span of 2 hours of a movie, like, you don't want to play her as a victim. You don't want to play her as as weak, but you have to be real about it. So I've never had so many wake-up calls in my life, but she learns about herself through the process of how she deals with them. She finds her voice, and she ends up kicking ass, so there can't be anything wrong with that.
All of these fantasy creatures, if you had to pick one, which one would you be?
Which one would I be? I'd probably be Wolverine, just because he's like such a badass, and he's in like ridiculous shape. And I started work because again we started in a couple of months, and I started working with the trainer, and I'm like, let's go for the like Hugh Jackman look for the second movie. And he's like, okay, if that's what you want to do, but you're going to be eating like blueberries and chicken breasts and working out 3 times a day. So I was like, so that's what I'm going to go for.